Terraplane here. Yes, there's a triangle in between my hands. Can you see it? Can you see it? Picture it. Yes. Now I'm going camera angles. Okay, I'd like to start this video off by saying beware the sharpened pastry, courtesy of Jenna Peterson. She's not actually here, just picture her. Like, I'm asking you to do a lot of imagination throughout this video. Picture Jenna. You don't know what she looks like. Picture a rainbow filled with mischievousness. I have a lisp. Okay. So today's video is all about awkward things that have made me me. Now, what brought this on was I was just sitting at my table eating cereal and pretending to do homework while actually I was listening to Dan and Phil play Sims. Dan. Okay. Little brain floaty offy. Okay. So, I hear an alarm. I am one of probably the most, like, socially awkward people around my family you will meet. Or, like, in 4th grade, I was really bad. But, like, with random strangers, I can, like, play it off. I'm an actress. I mean, it's just all like, but then my family is all like, oh God, you actually know who I am. So it's just all like, yeah. So, socially awkward around my family and into the 4th and 5th grade. And on really bad days. And that's where this all begins. Couple last year on a really, really bad day. And this whole is like a chain sequence of events. Except for the 4th grade one, which will come last. So here you go. 3 situations that explain a little bit about who I am. Are you ready? Story time. Once upon a time, I was having a sucky day. Like, hit me with a sharp metal object and dump me into the nearest body of water kind of day, because it was just one disaster after another. Nothing was working at all. And it happened to be the day that my family decided to go on a road trip to Astoria. Okay. So I have this, like, mind-numbing and general hatred of buses. So just like, they're rattling death traps full of shady, scary people. So what's not to fear on these buses? Don't judge me. I know some of you are afraid of balloons. I have a friend that's afraid of windows. Somebody else, I think, is afraid of, like, what was it, fast food? I don't know. I don't remember. My memory is like in one ear, out the other, unless I really care. So, fear of buses. And guess what? We're deciding to take on this 2-hour trip to a stop where we actually have our car. A bus. So, we get on this bus, and after having this really terrible day, the last thing I want to do is be surrounded by shady people on a rattling death trap. So I put my headphones in, and I pull my knees up to my chest, and I, like, try to disappear for a while. And I'm just rocking back and forth when Riptide comes on my headphones. So I, like, turn it up all the way, and I start to get into it, because it's like, it's a song that will, like, take my mind off things, and it'll get stuck in my head, so it'll give me something to, like, focus on throughout this bus trip. Little do I know, while I'm getting so into the song, that I start singing out loud. So in my head, it's just like, but out loud, I start singing. So I go, I was scared of dentists in the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. Blah, blah, blah. Lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat, 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Ooh, they call my Stark. I apologize for my horrific singing just then, but you needed to hear it to get the full experience. So my mom, who's sitting across from me, starts filming my little mini concert inside my head. Other people have their phones out and are like filming me, and some people are just full blown staring at me. But I don't care at this point. I'm just so tired. I'm gonna sing to the end of this song and come up with like some snarky response at the end and then be embarrassed all the way to the rest of the thing, which is exactly what happened. So I finished the song with a big flourish, and I open my eyes, see everybody staring at me with their phones out, like giving me weird looks or like, and I look at as many as I can, dead in the face. I'm all like, yeah, I'm that good. And I like plug my headphones back in and like turn it up full blast so I don't have to hear any of the comments. And I like pull my hoodie like down over my eyes because I swear my face is like glowing red. But I'm still just like peeved from the rest of this day. Humanity is just disappointing me and annoying me. So I don't care what they're saying. I don't care what they're doing. It's just going to offend me no matter what they're doing. If they compliment me, it's like, ugh. If they insult me, it's like, ugh. If they don't do anything, it's like, ugh. So, it was one of those days. So, we get off the bus and we get to the car where I can finally, like, sleep. My mom is showing my dad the video because he was with our car, and they're up there laughing, but I'm just, like, sleeping, watching downloaded episodes of this and downloaded episodes of that, and just all, like, at peace again, because in the car, I can do okay unless we start driving up, like a mountain, or over a bridge, in which case I'm like, I'm gonna die. But until then, I'm good. So, a couple days later is our family reunion. They're really, really terrifying and really very scary. So, at this point, there are no, like, kids in my age that have come to my family reunions, because some of them live here and some of them live there. Some of them are here and some of them are in Iceland. So like the ones that are there are like adults, really old, but like 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old guys. No real girls there. So I curl up, like half the people I don't know are there, and the other people are like I know I shouldn't talk to. So I'm like hunched up, like in this little corner, almost like where a wall is separated by a window, and I crawled up in there, and I'm reading this book that I've gotten really into. And I'm so deep into reading this book, which can happen, if I've ever blanked you while reading or writing, I'm sorry. Usually I'm a great multitasker. It's just your life is suddenly no longer interesting when my characters' lives are much better than yours. I'm sorry. So I'm so deep into this that I don't notice my drunk uncle come sit down like at my feet and start telling me his life's philosophy and story. I'm here, it's just like the enemy approaches, and he's just all like, that's how I met your aunt. Originally, I was in love with your mother. And I'm just like, The candles blew out, and he's just like, I accidentally proposed to your cousin instead of your aunt first. And I'm just like, got closer to the edge of the cliff. And like, maybe through like an hour and a half of him telling him his life story, he puts his hand like on my knee, because I've like curled up. I'm just like, he puts his hand on my knee and he like looks at me dead in the eyes, because this is the first time I've actually noticed him there, and he's like, do you understand? I'm all like, uh-huh. And he stands up in front of my entire family and group of my family's weird friends. So at this point it's like 30 or 40 people, and he yells over the top of everybody, hey everybody, she gets me! And I'm all like, and I have like this awkward, like, yawn thing that I do when I get into situations in which I'm uncomfortable and I'd really just like to end this conversation. So I start doing that, and people are, like, snapping pictures, and they're like, what's wrong with her? Can she do it again? Because half of these people are, like, maybe over half these people are very, very intoxicated at this point. And they're just, like, asking my mom, what's wrong with this girl? And I'm still like, please go away. Please. That's how the rest of my family reunion went. Situation number 3. Okay, so this is in 4th or 5th grade, I believe. My bestest friend in the world, name is Zoe. We've known each other literally all our lives. Our moms are best friends. Their moms are rivals, so it's a thing. We invented a friendship shake. Friendship shake? What? You know what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm sure you all have had some dorky handshake that you share with a close friend or a frenemy. You have a handshake. Well, this handshake was very personal to us because of something that happened that was hilarious, but I won't get into that because it's a very, very ridiculously long story, and I don't want to make another 20-minute video. So, we were in PE, and we were playing volleyball, I think it was, and Zoe and I had beat the boys. Not just Zoe and I mean, there were other people on our team, but we didn't really care about them. It was girls against boys. We beat the boys, and so Zoe and I walk up to each other, like, after Mr. Parsons has called us all in, and we walk up to each other like, what? And Mr. Paulson, like, goes, everybody stop, sit down, except for you two. Nobody is leaving this classroom until Sydney and Zoe do that sweet handshake again. Oh, notification. And me and Zoe just freeze. Like, I did not handle attention well coming to 4th grade because I'd been homeschooled for almost 3 years at that point. So I'm just like, And so we get really close to each other and we do like this. And the bell rings, and me and Zoe run, like, bolt to our classroom, and we're, like, hiding. And then a bunch of people come around us from our class, and they're like, whoa, what was that about? Are you guys, like, best friends or something? Which was, like, a stupid question to ask. When was I not, like, clinging on to Zoe's leg? I mean, in elementary school, I was, like, a drowning cat, and Zoe was my owner, except I was not trying to claw her so much as I was holding on to her from dear life to save me from the water. Zoe is much better at making people buzz off than me. I wasn't very assertive back then, so she's kind of, like, deflected all the questions because she's kind of murderous. She's just like, back off, and people would run. So things are going pretty well until she walked away from me to go talk to our other friend, Maddie. So a bunch of people surrounded me because I had this thing where if I get too nervous, I have to start talking and have to start answering questions. So they know that if they can push enough buttons, I'll just spill my entire life story. So this girl that I will not name names, Carrie, Seacam, who didn't particularly like me, comes around and starts asking, like, questions, and she's just like, and when, and, like, they've all pressed in, so I feel like I remember, like, I was, like, on the floor, and they were all, like, leaning down, and then she pauses, and she's, like, giving me the stare to answer these questions, and I'm all like, your mama, and then I run away, like, I ducked underneath desk and ran to the common room, and I didn't come to school next day because I was so flustered, and I didn't really understand what happened, but I knew that something was wrong. I was just like, your mama, and I ran away. That was, like, the most strange experience of my life. And then Zoe got into Explorers, which was fun for me because then I didn't have a human shield. Okay. That was 3 awkward situations that have made me, me, on planet me. Terraplane. See the triangle? Picture it. Picture it. Good. Now I'm going to leave you, but promise me one thing, world, that you'll stay awkward and you'll beware the sharpened pastry.